Hello and welcome to another episode of Monifactory here in the collective. Apologies for the delay between episodes. Our local subunit of the collective here came down with a little something and it took us a little while to adapt to it and recover. In this episode, we're planning to get Canthal up and running and get some Canthal coils going. And then, if we look at the quest book here, after we get Canthal coils, we can get some silicon ingots and then get into the transistors and HV circuits. So hopefully this episode will get into some HV circuits here and then potentially start working our way towards some auto crafting. So for silicon ingots, there are a couple different ways that we can go about this. We can do the silicon dioxide and carbon dust method here, which is a shorter method than just smelting silicon dust. We may want to set this method up here, and we plan to set up these blast furnaces over in the area that we're in currently. If we do set up this method here, we'll probably set up a separate blast furnace for it, and because the carbon and the carbon monoxide are a closed loop, if you electrolyze the carbon monoxide, you will get your carbon dust back as well as some bonus oxygen gas. And the 1 bucket of carbon monoxide equals 1 carbon dust, so it's a loop there. So that may be the route that we want to take, is just setting up one of these that is specific to it. For the initial run of silicon, we may just do a single kind of batch in the existing blast furnace over there just to get up and running, but we will probably set up a dedicated silicon blast furnace somewhere over here. And once we get a few of the blast furnaces set up over here, then we'll go ahead and add some walls and a roof in. I'm not entirely certain how tall to make this setup right at the moment, as we're not sure at the moment whether or not we want the blast furnaces on the ground or a couple blocks up. We'll just have to see how it works out. So without further ado, we will go over and get some Canthal coils started crafting and then go from there. Alrighty, so we have all of the ingredients that we need here for, if I remember correctly, it was 46 Canthal coils, which should be enough for a 4x4 grid, 4x4 blast furnace, a quad basically. So we'll go ahead and put 4 stacks of each here and then just throw one of those in there and then pop in the liquid for the coil here, and we've got these cooking up. So it takes 8 2x Canthal wire, 8 aluminum foil, and then 1 ingot, basically 144 millibuckets of liquid copper. One nice thing here that, like we've shown in the past, the recipe tree here, we've basically gone through and favorited the various different paths that we want the crafting tree to take, and then we can basically go out here and scroll until we've got, I believe it was 46 here that we needed for the quad here, because it's 16 plus 10 plus 10. Well, it's technically less than 46 because we're going in a quad. You have 2 walls that are shared, but if you were doing in a row, it'd be plus 10 for each one. So this will overproduce a little bit from what we actually need for a quad, but it shouldn't go to waste. We'll use all of the coils here, so we'll wait for these to cook up here and then go ahead and set up a quad over there. We might actually, no, we're not going to set up the quad over there. We're going to go ahead and set up the quad here in the new area. And in the meantime, while we're waiting on these coils to get completed, let me go ahead and get a applied energistics cable here routed through. I've already got part of the tunnel dug, but I need to finish digging the tunnel for it. Basically just have a tunnel here. Need to dig this way and might have to go down just a little bit, but we're going to bring the cable up here in the center and probably replace that center post. So I will get this dug out the rest of the way, and then we will come back and set up the quad here. Alrighty, our coils have finished here, so I'll grab those and then grab the rest of the ingredients needed for the quad here, and then we will get that set up. Alrighty, and we've got the quad built up here. If you've watched any of the Hamcorp series, you'll probably recognize this. It's his kind of sideways quad wall sharing blast furnace setup here. He most recently, I think, showed this off on his Star Technology run. We are going to be doing MV energy hatches on each one of them here, and then sharing the input bus, and then double sharing the output buses of each, and sharing the input hatch here. We've got the muffler hatches here as well as the maintenance hatches on the sides. We just need to throw in some tape on each of the maintenance hatches here to get them up and running here. And so these in recent versions, I believe, of the mod pack or of GregTech Modern, I think, might even be GregTech for 1.12, but I don't remember if it can rotate the blocks. But you can rotate the actual machine block here, so it can be sideways, and the up face of it kind of going that direction there. So, you know, like I think Ham had said, it's nice because you can access all of these hatches here without having to climb up. But this will be the only sideways blast furnace here. All of the others will be kind of in rows, upright. So those will be that way. This one, just for convenience sake and because I've never done a sideways blast furnace before. So I'll go ahead and get the power hooked up here. And then, as you can see, I did get a cable here set up underneath, and I'll show that path here in just a little bit, but we've got ME crafting terminal over here. All I need to do here is just route a cable. I'd routed one underneath here and over. I just need to route one over here and to the input hatch so that we can get some nitrogen in there. But like I said, let me get the power hooked up for these, and then we will see what we want to do next. Alrighty, so we've got power hooked up, and I may not have shown this in a previous episode, but basically we've got a line here down, and this goes all the way over here and up into the existing building over here that we've got the or had the blast furnace in, but have all of the other kind of setups in. And then we've got another one that comes down here, and I also routed some of the power down here as well. So we've got the cable and the power that come down, and then come over here, turn, and go on up. And then we've got power coming over here. We just need to run a cable, like we said, up to the fluid input hatch, but this one then goes kind of up into the main center area. So, and then just kind of a cave network down there, and then we come back up here. So the system is powered now. We just need to get a cable coming down here. Not entirely certain if we want all of the cables underground or if we want to kind of hang them. We might potentially just bump the cables up a little bit further and then have them kind of crawl along the ceiling and then come down. We'll just have to see. For now, though, we'll get at least something kind of in temporarily here to get the nitrogen in. And then probably just go ahead and start a batch of the silicon ingots just using silicon dust. It takes longer, but we can kind of AFK for that for a little bit and kind of get that going. So we will be back in just a minute. Alrighty, so we ended up having enough silicon dioxide and carbon dust that we can do at least a couple rounds of the cheaper recipe, the quicker recipe here, and we'll just kind of manually electrolyze the carbon monoxide to get the carbon dust back, or potentially just void it here. But we will go ahead and stick this in here, and looks like everything is going, so we should have some of that cooked up here soon. We did go ahead and add in an ME interface here for the fluid input hatch, and we'll go ahead and add nitrogen here once we're done with the silicon. But we have a bunch of silicon ingots coming out. This one's an MV recipe, but it's being run at HV, so we're getting that done in 6 seconds, and there is a chance there's a chance output for ashes. The ashes can be centrifuged for some various different items here. Most of these aren't too useful yet, but eventually they do kind of help with a few things, so not a terrible idea to occasionally collect ashes and then kind of centrifuge them. But we have the carbon dioxide or carbon monoxide here, and it looks like we've got as much as we can handle. So we'll grab a drum here and just go ahead and grab the outputs on that and let this thing finish up. So it looks like we have some silicon ingots here. Might do that another time or two here, just kind of recycle the carbon monoxide manually here, and then kind of do that a couple times here just so that we can get enough here for the transistor. We've got 18, that shouldn't be too bad, but like we said, we'll probably do this maybe one more time to get some decent amount of transistors for things. So let me go ahead and run that a couple more times. Alrighty, we were able to get 61 ingots out of all of that. So we'll go ahead and stick these in here and get them turned into plates so that we can make the transistors. And we'll go ahead and grab, we've also been doing up a bunch of various items here in the network, the hostile network. So we'll go ahead and grab some of the platinum here that we did and get that kind of up and in there, and then grab some tin as well, and take the tin and just run this through here on circuit 3. We'll run a bit of that in there and then in here and grab everything from there. We've been running tin through for plates for the laser IO items. Actually need these here because that is made in an MV assembler with polyethylene. So we'll have to grab some polyethylene here. So I'll grab some of this and then move this all up into the stop up there. We'll let this kind of cook and we'll grab what we've got for now, and we'll go ahead and get our first set of transistors here. So no circuit, polyethylene in there, and there we go. And we can go ahead and pop the carbon monoxide in there and recover a few things. So we have our first transistors here. So we got the coils, we got the silicon ingot, and then we've got the transistors here. So we should be able to get the HV circuit here. We'll need the IC chip, RAM. I believe we've gotten everything that we need here. We might have to do another run of the good integrated circuits here, the MV tier, just to grab some, but we'll go ahead and gather up all of these materials here and then run those through the circuit assembler. Alrighty, so we were preparing some of the ingredients for the HV circuits and ran into the issue here. I'll go ahead and pull that out that we had discussed in a couple of the previous episodes here. If you put an item card in the in a node here that's facing an LV or any sort of input bus, and that input bus is pointed towards the node, as you can see, the item card is no longer in there and is now in the input bus. Unfortunately, that just seems to be something that they haven't been able to fix yet. So basically you just point the input bus away from the node and then place the item card in there. And now you can see it's staying in place, and we can just go ahead and pop the items back in there. But basically that was kind of the issue that we had run into, and it just seems to be something that they can't fix right now, or is kind of hard to fix in the code. So that's kind of the workaround, is to just point the hatch away. But got that all set up here, added nitrogen to the input hatch here, and we are just waiting on another stack of transistors here. So we'll go check that. Alrighty, so we've got everything that we need here. We're going to make 16 of the HV circuits to start with here, and that'll probably be it for the episode. In between episodes, I'll cook up another batch of the MV circuits here, or probably I'll need to cook up another batch of all of the circuits here, and just try and get a stack or so of them each in between the episodes here. But we'll go ahead and pop each of these in there, and that should, well, let's see here, what did I do wrong? So it's electrum wire, not gold wire. Alrighty, that's another one of those. I do have the electrum wire here. It's another one of those gold, electrum, and platinum wire. All look very similar. It's very slight shades of yellow. So go ahead and pop that in there, but and get that going, and we should have here in just a few seconds an HV circuit. Like we said, this will probably be it for the episode here. Next episode we will try to get into the auto crafting side of things a little bit more. Probably try to get some HV materials cooked up here, get some stainless steel cooked up. We've got should have most of the items required for it. We've got tons of iron, tons of nickel. We should have at least some manganese, and then we should have some chrome, although might have to go mining for some more ruby or buy some ruby here. But we'll get that handled in between episodes and kind of get that cooked up and ready so that we can get some stainless steel cooking here next episode. But yep, we'll just kind of start working into the auto crafting side of things and then working into the HV machines. The HV machines, once we get that set up, we might work a little bit on getting some sort of kind of rudimentary ore processing set up, but that'll probably be another episode or so after that. before we really get that set up. So we should have a couple of circuits here, and we have, yep, we've got these circuits, HV circuits. So like we said, that'll probably be it here. So hopefully you liked the episode and had some fun here. Like we said, next episode we'll try to get into some auto crafting and try to get some HV machines built and kind of get into HV. So thanks for watching.